This is the last part of my Yandere Simulator rewrite series. Since I've redesigned and rewritten all the important characters for Yandere Simulator, this will be the last part of the series, for now at least. This video I will rewrite and redesign characters for Muja, Asu, Mida and Hanako. These characters will be similar to OC's since I'm completely replacing these characters either because I don't like them or I think their concept in Yandere Simulator is pretty weird. The series might continue. I do have lore and other ideas I want to talk about, and I do want to make this into a game if people are interested. So let me know if there's anything else you want to see regarding this series, and if you want me to continue redesigning, let me know who you want to see. Because I do like doing this as a hobby, but I also want to make sure that people are enjoying my content outside of Yandere Simulator videos. If you don't know who I am, my name is Fran or Fran Q, and I'm an indie game developer who has been rewriting and redesigning Yandere Simulator if it was a game created by myself rather than a game created by a Yandere dev. I'm also thinking of making a proposal video or an announcement video or turning this into a game, but again, let me know what you guys think of this series overall since it's now being concluded and what other changes I should make before going ahead with it. As usual, before I start showing off the designs, I just want to say no one's entitled to enjoy these designs since they are just based on what I prefer in, I guess, fiction. I'm open to any criticism for my designs and I love hearing the feedback you guys have, so let me know what you think of these designs in the comments. Currently, these rivals have no names since they're not the Yandere Simulator characters, they are their own original characters. So if anyone has name ideas for these characters, I'm more than happy to take them on board since I have no idea what to name them. When picking out what these characters should be like, I tried to think about the pre-existing rivals and what I don't have. So for example, my female rivals, I have Asana, who is a tsundere, Amai, who is very outgoing, and Asura, who is also more aggressive. So that leaves me with two more angry sort of female rivals and one happy one. So therefore I decided I should make another happy, energetic rival and maybe a more quiet female rival. If I were to make this into a game, these designs are all drafts and I would definitely change them to be more, I guess, professional looking and less like Yandere Simulator, since I do want to make this a game, but I don't want it to have much association with the original Yandere Simulator. So starting off, I suppose this could be the replacement rival for the nurse since this is my pink rival other than Asana. I just tried to make her as cute as possible, pink ribbons and cute hair, stuff like that. Like there's not really much thought, I just wanted an energetic, cute, pink character. I looked at the 1980s mode of Yandere Simulator while trying to figure out what personality types I wanted these characters to have, and I do kind of like the whole idol rival idea. I think it can lead to some good ideas for like eliminations and lore and stuff, but I feel like it wasn't expanded on much in 1980s because the whole thing feels unfinished, to be honest. So I think this character could possibly be an idol rival, but yeah, I haven't written much lore for any of these characters, so I'm not too sure. As I mentioned, she's very energetic, she's very, upbeat, happy, but I think it would also be entertaining if she was clumsy, which is kind of why I'd say she's the replacement rival for the nurse, because the nurse was also clumsy. But yeah, I also think it would be kind of like funny if she wanted to be a J-pop idol, but she was very clumsy. It's sort of like defeats the point almost, like she has to be good at dancing but she's clumsy, so I think that would be funny. But I also think it could lead to interactions with Taro, maybe like he helps her practice and make sure she doesn't fall over. There's a lot of possibilities with her. Currently I don't have any ideas for if she's in a club. I think I would say she's in no club, to be honest. The light music club would be the most fitting for her, but I already had another idea for a rival to be in the light music club, so I think she's just no club and she's sort of like trying to become an idol solo. and it's not like a school thing. My other idea was similar to Love Live, where the main character gets the idea to form an idol club, and it's like its own new club. So I think, yeah, if she was in a club, it wouldn't be any of the existing clubs in Yandere Simulator. It would be her own one, or she would be in no club, or it would be an idol club, but it wouldn't be like registered with the school. It would just be like they say they're a club, but they're not really a club. For her design, I tried to stick to pinks, blues, and yellows because I thought it's a cute color combination and it suits her. I did want to do pink and green, but my next female rival is green, so I kind of didn't want them to look too similar almost, but I don't know, I might come back to the pink and green idea because it is one of my favorite color combinations, and I think it would make for a pretty interesting character, and it would stand out quite a bit compared to the original Yandere Simulator designs. And yeah, that's my first female replacement rival. She's just meant to be very cute. There's not too much thought in her design, just pink, cute ribbons. But yeah, I might change her a bit more in the future because there are some parts I'm not too happy with. Moving on is my final female rival. So like I said, I tried to balance out the personality types when sorting out what these original characters would be like, and I came to the conclusion that none of my female rivals are like quiet. I guess Asura's a bit quiet, but she's not like quiet and shy, she's sort of quiet and mean. So this girl is more a learner, similar to, I think her name's Haruda in the original Yandere Simulator. I think, yeah, if I had to pick a character that would best describe her, she'd be similar to Haruda, but less timid, I guess. And adding on to that Haruda idea, I thought maybe this character is like, maybe she gets bullied. I have this depiction of her that she's sort of like the weird girl, but she's not really that weird, she's just labeled as that, which is also why I gave her black and white striped stockings, because it reminds me of like the weird girl characters like Fran Bow and Alice from Alice in Wonderland. It's like sort of, you know, I thought it was cute that she was similar to those sort of characters, and I like the idea that she reads a lot of fiction and fantasy novels and stories, and she really enjoys reading. So when you sort of mix like the reading and the Alice in Wonderland stocking things, it's like maybe she's just a big fan of reading and she dresses based on the stuff she reads and the characters she likes. Like maybe the character she likes wears a certain thing, so she starts wearing a certain thing. I think that would be cute. Like the last girl, she's also in no club because I think she would prefer to spend her time alone and probably read. I also just want to make sure that not all my rivals are in a club because, like I said in the first or second part, I don't really like how all the rivals are club leaders because I feel like it's sort of like it's obvious who you're killing because you're killing all the club leaders. It gets suspicious. I think that wasn't very well planned out in Yandere Simulator, to be honest. So most of these rivals aren't in any club because there should be a balance between being in a club and not being in a club with the rivals. And yeah, there's not much else to say. I think she just enjoys reading, spending her time alone, and it sort of opens more doors for her relationship with Taro, since she likes spending alone, but Taro's very social, as I mentioned. He likes helping out with the clubs, even though he's not in a club, he just likes volunteering. So it opens doors because it's like she's a learner, he's social, he tries getting her out of her shell. Obviously, Ayano doesn't like that. That's sort of what I'm envisioning with her. As for her design, there's not much to be said again. I sort of just did what I thought looked nice. I was a bit hesitant about giving her green hair because Amai also has like greenish hair and dark skin, and I didn't want the two of them to look too similar. But there's also not many characters with green hair. If there's like a green character, it's like they have accessories that are green. But I really wanted to give her green hair, so I did it anyways. I don't think she looks too similar to Amai, but I might change Amai in the future anyways. I like the idea of Amai maybe having dark hair and the mint green is like the underneath color. So they won't look too similar if I ever come back and fix these drop designs. And yeah, that's pretty much her design. She's sort of very frilly, very Lolita. I gave her a longer skirt because I feel like she would just prefer it. That's also another Haruda sort of thing, how she was the first character I think with a longer skirt in Yandere Simulator. And that's my last female rival design. Moving on to the boys, this is my replacement rival for Asurito. I don't really like Asu, as I've said in the past, and I've never really met anyone who says Asu is their favorite rival, and I feel like she was just a forgettable character overall, so yeah, I didn't want to keep her in the game, to be honest. I'm just not her fan. This rival he's similar to Asu, but he's not the same. Asu is very energetic in the sense of sports, but I want this guy to be energetic in the sense of he's just like very happy-go-lucky. He's not in the sports club again. He also has no club because, I don't know, I didn't really like the idea of a sports club rival, especially if Taro isn't into sports in the original one, not my version. Because if Taro likes reading and she likes sports, I didn't really understand how they would mesh well, especially when Taro had this whole thing of like, I don't want to join a club, you know? So either way, I just didn't want a sports club rival, so my one is not in a club, and he's not very sporty. He's very social, he's sort of very silly, he makes friends easily, very buddy-buddy, which is why I gave him orange as a color, because like orange and yellow give off like warm, happy sort of characters to me, so that's why I picked orange. And Asura is already yellow in my version, so I made him orange for his theme color. Other than that, I don't really have much lore. I think he would just be very friendly around Taro, and Ayano gets jealous of that, and like maybe they're in the same class and they become friends easily because the two of them are both social, and it becomes a sort of friends to lovers thing. For his design, I gave him a jacket tied around his waist, which I was sort of hesitant to do because I didn't want him to look similar to Asu at first, but then I thought it doesn't really matter if he looks similar to Asu because overall their characters are very, very different, considering one's sporty and the other one isn't. And then from memory, Asu had like swimming goggles on top of her head, which I found kind of cringy because I don't know why she's walking around with them on her head at all times. So I gave him headphones instead because it's like a similar shape, but it's more normal to walk around with headphones around your neck than swimming goggles on top of your head. So that's my thoughts towards his design. I gave him a band-aid on his cheek because I think he's also probably a bit clumsy, but not in the same way as the first girl. I think clumsy in the way he's a bit dumb, he's a bit silly, you know, just a fun guy. I don't have much lore for him either. None of these characters have much lore because I haven't really thought about the story too much. My last point for his design is that I gave him a shirt under his button-up and I left the blazer vest thing open because I feel like it makes him look more carefree rather than having everything buttoned up and stuff. I made the shirt under his button-up red because he's not wearing the tie, so I thought it sort of makes up for the lack of the necktie. And other than that, there's not much else to say about his design. I'm pretty happy with it, but I'll probably also come back and change some stuff in the future. And my final male rival and the last rival out of my redesigns. So he is the music club rival that I mentioned. I imagine he would maybe play drums or guitar, but again, I haven't put much thought into the lore and stuff, so I'm still deciding what instrument he would play. As for the music club, I didn't really understand why it was called the Light Music Club. Maybe I'm just not very knowledgeable in that, but I don't think I would call it the Light Music Club. I would just say music club or something, or maybe he's not even in the music club, he's just in a band. I don't know. but he is the music rival, and my idea there is that Taro helps set up with setting up instruments and stuff like that when he volunteers to help with the music club during this rivals week. The best way I would describe his personality is he's pretty much the opposite of Megami. So Megami, obviously, as we know, is very strict. She's in the original Yandere Simulator the student council president, and like I would describe her as very paranoid because of Ayana and 1980s and stuff. So yeah, this character, this rival, is very much the opposite in the sense that he's not strict, he's carefree, he doesn't like rules, and I don't think, in my opinion, I want him to be the type of character that doesn't believe in like what's seen as normal in society. He's like very against society's standards, yeah, I guess. I would also say maybe he's like tsundere-ish, but not like Osana. Like he sort of just like struggles to express his emotions, I guess. But obviously Osana's gonna be the tsundere in the series. For his design, I gave him these belts, and there's like a red pleated thing tied to it. I don't know, I just thought it looked cool, and I gave him one of those tail keychains because I really like them, and I don't know, I like the way it looks. And then because of that, I wanted to give him a jacket, and I thought the best way to tie in the fur from the tail is to give him fur around the trim of the jacket. Not the trim, the collar of the jacket. Other than that, he just has like a black and red color palette because I couldn't think of any better colors to go with red, so it's a bit basic. There's not too much else to say about his design. He has piercings. He has one that connects from his lip to his ear. I don't know what that piercing is called, I just thought it looked cool. And he has an eyebrow piercing, and yeah, I think he looks very unapproachable, but he's not that scary. He's just like, he just looks it. And there are some rips in his pants, not for any particular reason, I just thought they look cool again. He doesn't get into fights or anything, he just looks cool. And not much else to say about his design, but again, if anyone has name ideas for these characters, I'd love to hear them because I'm not too sure what I want to name them. And those are the 4 final rivals, which also completes all the characters for my Yandere Simulator rewrite series. But I love all of the characters in the original Yandere Simulator, or most of them, so I'd be more than happy to redesign them if people want to see that. I do love the Gyarus especially, I would love to redesign them. But for now, I'm gonna say this series is complete. Rather than a rewrite, I would love to talk about the lore and make a video just specifically for the lore of this. And again, like I said in the intro, a sort of proposal video for creating this into a game and see what everyone's opinions are. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, let me know what you guys want to see in the future, and any critique for these designs is welcome, of course. Thank you so much for watching this series. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope to continue it, and I'll have to find something else to start posting now. Take care of yourselves, stay hydrated, and I'll see you in the next video.